रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय श्री कृष्ण।
Which Doha today?
Amma, we'll start from Doha number 152. Right? So this is 152 and we'll continue from there. So when we have been listening to the Ramayana and we have been listening to all the stories, two things so far when we were saying that this was the person, Vrindama, the Shrap happened and how he was reborn. Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, how they were reborn. Then we talked about, now we are going to talk about Pratap Bhanu, and in his next birth he'll be born as so and so. So again and again, one thing that is being reinforced is Punarjanam, right? Reincarnation happens. In Sanatan Dharma, we believe in the philosophy of reincarnation. We were there, the soul was there. It changes body, right? It is like changing clothes. And it is said, and it is nice to believe, that we write our own blueprints. Right? In our next birth, who is going to be my greatest enemy? Who is going to be my husband? Who is going to be my wife? What is going to be the situation? So that we are able to learn what we are supposed to move forward with our journey. What is our journey towards? As such, there is nowhere to go. But we are nearing, we want moksha. What is moksha? To get freed from the cycle of birth and death. Why should we get freed from the cycle of birth and death? Life is so beautiful, isn't it? We have such a nice house. Whether it's humid or cold, hot outside does not matter to us. We can set our ACs. In the peak summers, we feel cold in the rooms and we have our blankets. We can travel to wherever we want to go. Life is so good. What is the problem with Punarjanam? The problem is, all that we have right now is the result of what we have done in our previous births. Right? So it is like the earning, and now we are spending. And what happens when the earning stops? The spending happens, and after a point, khatam, Thantan Gopal, sab khatam. And then what happens? Then we look around us. We should observe, right? And we should wonder, why am I in the car and he's standing at the signal sending tissue papers? Why? Aisa kara kya? Why do I live in such a good house, but there are jhuggies and jhopris, huts where they cannot even sustain, or they cannot even stop the water from flowing in when it thunders and storms? What is it that I have done to get this and they have done to get that? Karma. And then we say Punarjanam. Previous birth mein aisa kya kar diya? And I think we do not encourage fear, right? We should not fear God, but we should definitely fear our actions which are not wise. Because in the next birth, kya pata, kya situation ho, right? Knowingly, unknowingly, whatever is being done is documented, and everybody has to bear the fruit of whatever we have done. And if we know this, and if we believe this, then shouldn't we be extra cautious while stepping forward, while opening our mouths, while doing anything, be it in thought, word or deed? For that, what is needed? Vigilance. To be vigil, what is needed? Vivek. And Vivek kaise aata hai? Kripa se aata hai. Kripa is not selective. We are standing with an umbrella when the kripa is flowing. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक के ऊपर कृपा होती है, एक के ऊपर नहीं होती है. छतरी हटाइए. So this cycle of birth and death, the vicious cycle of birth and death, is depicted in our scriptures. जो आज प्रताप भानु है, वो कल रावण बनेगा. क्यों बनेगा? जो आज मनु एंड शत्रुपा थे वो कल जाके दशरथ एंड कौशल्या बनने वाले. क्यों? If that is true, a lot of alertness has to be exercised from our side. And when we are alert, when we are cautious, we cannot live mindlessly. Now, when we talked about Vrinda Ma, right? We talked about the story of Ma Vrinda and Jalandhar. One slip from her and Jalandhar got destroyed. She was holding on because of her purity, because of her samarpan to God. She was holding on to everything around her. Everybody around her was protected. Her husband was protected. Nobody could come and touch him. The power of having one devotee, one true devotee in the family. It is said that if there is one true devotee, I'm not talking about a siddh or a sage or a jnani. I'm talking about a devotee. Devotees बहुत विरले होते हैं. Hardly any. You can get tapasvis, jnanis, you can get sages and sadhus, but a devotee is very rare. We'll take it up in the next class from Uttarkhand and talk about it. So if there is one devotee in the family, it is said that 21 generations before and 21 generations ahead get moksha. They are freed from the cycle of birth and death. Why? Why should others benefit by this one devotee being in the family? There are no others, right? We are a sum total and a product and ultimately it is like we are what our ancestors were. Because of them, we are. Because of their thought, we are the continuation. Because of their action, we are the culmination. So we are not an independent entity anywhere. So our actions, our karma affect our purvaj and affect our descendants also. Such is the power of a devotee that one devotee can protect the entire family. One devotee can provide moksha to 21 generations before and 21 generations ahead by the mere power of devotion and faith. And so what do? Walk on the path. We cannot sail with our feet on two boats, right? If we put one boat in sansar, one boat in Prabhu Bhakti, and they say कि हम दोनों मैनेज कर लेंगे, नहीं होगा. We'll sink. ना ये होगा ना वो होगा, ना संसार संभलेगा ना प्रभु की भक्ति आएगी. Then what do? Simple. Make a bhakti ka foundation and then live the sansar as per the foundation that we have laid. It is not that, okay, today I'm going to live my life like this, tomorrow I'm going to live my life like that. No. Agar we believe in punarjanam, we believe in karma philosophy, we believe in action and reaction, vigilance is needed, alertness is needed, devotion is needed, the foundation has to be set and life has to be led accordingly. And Pratap Bhanu was one such king. He was the son of Satyaketu. Satyaketu was the ruler of Kekaya, right? And this was a beautiful kingdom. Satyaketu, the name itself suggests, right, that he was Satyavaji. One thing he held on to was Satya. And if we can hold on to Satya in Mansa Vacha Karma, even in our speech, we can hold on to Satya. Everything else will fall in place. क्योंकि हम जो सोचेंगे वही हम बोलेंगे, हम वही करेंगे. तो इफ मेरे दिमाग में कुछ और चल रहा है और मैं कुछ बोल रही हूँ तो आई एम नॉट सत्यवाची ना. सो इफ वी हैव टू होल्ड ऑन टू ट्रूथ, वी हैव टू बी वेरी अलर्ट, वेरी विजिलेंट. We have to cleanse ourselves properly. नहीं तो the minute we step out, there's going to be a big problem. Right? We won't hold on to our principles or we won't hold on to truth. दोनों में से एक चीज़. So Satyaketu's kingdom, Kekaya, was ruled very properly. There was prosperity, there was joy, it was a sinless kingdom. Everybody was happy. Is it possible? When we look at Kali Yuga and the rulers of today, we feel that no, it is not possible. Bhrashtachar hai, corruption hai, nahi. But in his kingdom, Satyaketu's Rajya, everything was balanced. Everybody lived a life of wisdom and dignity. from the smallest to the biggest. There was no disparity whatsoever. But time came and he moved from the Brahmacharya ashram to the Grihastha ashram. In the Grihastha ashram, he led his life as per the scriptures, the Veds. Many of us, have not studied the Veds, and we should, because that is the foundation of Sanatan Dharma, right? These are these 4 Veds, and there are courses which are done to understand the Veds, because that is the foundation on which Sanatan Dharma is based. So he led his kingdom and his Grihastha ashram life based on what was written in the Veds. And once the responsibility of the Grihastha ashram was done, his 2 sons, that is Pratap Bhanu and Arimardhan, were ready. Pratap Bhanu, being the eldest, was handed over the kingdom, and Arimardhan was a devoted brother. And he supported his brother in all ways. Everything was set, his praja was in place, his praja was in good hands, and Satyaketu retired to the jungle. He entered the Vanaprastha ashram because now he just wanted to move towards moksha. Even today, our life has to be divided into these 4 parts. Brahmacharya ashram, Grihastha ashram, we are mostly Grihasthas, Vanaprastha ashram and Sannyas ashram. And we should set a boundary. And many people still do it. I know people who have set a boundary. They said, okay, when this is done, my stint in the Grihastha ashram is over. Some people die in the Grihastha ashram only. They cannot move forward. If we cannot go anywhere also, it's all right. But we have to be honest to ourselves. Have we been able to break the shackles of Moh and Maya? If not, then we have to work towards it. It is very difficult when we are in sansar. But if we cannot leave sansar, within the sansar, staying within the sansar, we have to set those boundaries. Okay, at the age of 50 or after I have earned so and so money, I am going to call it a day. Make a note. When am I going to call it a day from Grihastha ashram? Or I want to look after my grandchildren and their grandchildren and their grandchildren, see them married. Matlab, kab tak chalega? And then, and when we look back, then we see that the generation which has come, right? The active young generation is busy. They have things to do. And we are standing there and looking. But we are not supposed to be standing there and looking. Our work with them is over. And our attention to be towards the Lord. So that we don't feel कि अरे मेरे तरफ तो कोई ध्यान ही नहीं दे रहा है. आपको ध्यान क्यों चाहिए? वो अपने काम पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं. They are taking care of the future now. You take care of your future. Break the shackles of Grihastha ashram. And so, draw a line. So, over here, Satyaketu, who was the ruler, just imagine the kind of opulence he had. He drew a line. He said, okay, Pratap Bhanu, ye lo samalo kingdom. Arimardhan, he is your brother. Dharmaruchi is going to be your advisor, who is very well established in Dharma. These are the Veds which I have taught you very well already. I have lived life with an example of how you should rule and how you should live. And now it is time for me to move on. Am I frozen? Is it? No? Bhavna ji, I think there is something wrong over there. एक बार check करना.
No, you're freezing from time to time.
Oh, I'm freezing from time to time? Okay, and is the voice clear? Is the voice clear?
Yeah, voice is clear.
Okay, so
At the
maybe
moment it's clear, but when you're frozen, there is no voice as well.
no voice at well. So there is a lag, right? So
Yeah.
let's deal with live with the lag today, and I'll work on it next time. है ना?
No problem.
Hopefully there is not too much of a lag, right? So
Yeah.
now Arimardhan, so he said, okay, drawn, Grihastha ashram stint is over, and now I am moving on. So he left everything. He handed over his kingdom to Pratap Bhanu and moved to the jungle, where he entered the Vanaprastha ashram, getting prepared for the Sannyas ashram. And now Pratap Bhanu, he was an apt ruler. Now, we have now entered the part where we are talking about one particular Treta Yuga. Because there are thousands and thousands of Treta Yugas and thousands of Leelas, thousands and thousands of reasons for the Lord to take birth. Now Pratap Bhanu, from here we'll progress into one of the Leela of one of the Treta Yuga. Now Pratap Bhanu is there. He is ruling vigilantly. What he decided is that there are a lot of rulers who are not ruling and they are not giving that kind of joy to the praja which I can give. Corrupt rulers. And he went on a mission and he conquered the entire land. It said that the entire land was all under him. One Chakravarti ruler, Pratap Bhanu. Right? And the way he ruled was as per the Vedas. He looked after his subjects with utmost care according to the precept of the Vedas, and there was not a speck of sin anywhere in his kingdom. Because he himself was so strong. And he subjugated the whole universe. Right? With his mighty army, he subjugated the entire universe. And after conquering the entire universe, the entire land, he came back as the sole ruler. And now, when everything was in place, everything was set, he retired into enjoying or retired into living his life. Now, what are the 4 elements in our life we have talked about? Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha. And the true definition of Dharma, Arth, Kam and Moksha we have discussed. So, he lived his life with Dharma and he was doing his Karma. As per Dharma, जो भी desires थी, he was living them based on that particular time. ऐसा नहीं कि any desire, any time. No. Right desires were nurtured and he enjoyed his kingdom, he enjoyed his wealth, and he adhered to all the religious practices also. Time went by and in his kingdom there were a lot of Ved Pathshalas, there were a lot of Gurukuls which were supported, lot of Purans and Veds knowledge was given to all the people around him. How can you be sinless? You can be sinless when you know how to live sinlessly, right? The definition of sin is very grey and blurred. So once he imparted the right knowledge to everybody, and everybody in his kingdom was living as per that knowledge based on the knowledge of Veds and Purans. And how did he rule the kingdom? Hriday na kachu phal anusandhan. He did not want anything from anybody for himself. Bhoop viveki param sujan. He was a viveki insan. We keep
Good man.
huh?
It is being interrupted very often.
Very often. Okay, let me just. So we were there. So he was Hriday na kuch phal anusandhan. He did not want anything from anybody. Many a times we do things because we have expectation of return, right? If we are good to him, this work would be done. If I take care of my children today, tomorrow they'll take care of me. Everything is a give and take. But he had no expectations from anybody. Bhoop viveki param sujan. Vivek is very important because Satrupa also asked from the Lord that may my Vivek never go away and may I never be deluded by your Maya. And then Karahi je dharma, karma man bani, man and vani. Dono say he was doing his action based on dharma. Vasudev arpit nip jnani. Everything he did, like everything we do also, whether we are taking care of our family or whether we are working outside, we should surrender it to the Lord. अर्पित कर दिया कि ये सब तुम्हारे लिए, तुम्हारे पर. मेरे कहते ना, there is a saying, there is nothing which is mine, everything is your. तेरा तुझको सौंपते क्या लागे है मेरा. I'm giving everything to you, every action that I do in this world. Because sometimes it's very difficult, right? How can we ride on 2 boats, we say. And then we can say, no, it's all right. Everything that you are doing in this world, keep the Lord in your heart. Remember that the person in front of you has Lord in him. Every action should be surrendered to the Lord. Everything. I don't want any phal. I am not the karta. I am not the doer. I am not the bhokta. I am not going to ask for the fruit of my action also. Everything is yours. Tera tujhko arpan. It is all yours. And this is how he was ruling the kingdom. Now it just so happened that niyati hoti hai na, there is a time. And nobody can stop this time from changing. Like if you remember, Tulsi Baba says na, Tulsi nar ka kya bada, समय बड़ा बलवान, काबा लूटे गोपिका, वही Arjun, वही बाण. We all know Arjun and his Gandiv and how powerful he was in the battle of Mahabharat. Towards the end, Shri Krishna said, तुम गोपियों को बचा के ले जाओ. You know, there was a lot of mayhem all around. Arjun, you have your Gandiv, go, save the Gopikas. But you know, at that time what happened? Arjun was the same, the Gandiv was the same. But he was defeated by whom? By the Bhils. His Gandiv did not work. So where was the power? Was the power in Arjun? Or was the power in the Gandiv? Or it was just Samay, Kal. It is all Kal, Samay. So when the Samay is right, if we touch stone, it will become gold. But when the Samay is not with us in our favor, all that is gold will also become rak, ashes. So over here also, time had come, right? So time had come, and one day Pratap Bhanu entered the jungle. He entered the jungle to hunt. And it is said that he killed a lot of important deers, sanskari deers, which were very, very precious. And then he saw a boar. Just imagine, when you start, you'd let down your vigil, you'd let down your, alertness. What happens is you end up, your vivek starts leaving you slowly. And it is not our fault, to be very honest. Samay ki baat hai. And he started chasing that boar. Now he's alone in the jungle, chasing that boar. He wants to catch him, but the boar is very fast. He enters a cave. By the end of that, hours and hours of chase, he is lost in the jungle, all alone, thirsty and a little bit fatigued. And now he does not know how to get out. At that time, he enters a cave. When he enters a cave, he sees a Sadhu Baba. He sees a person draped in orange. He's standing there. And he looks at him, he joins his hand, and he says, by the look of it, you look to be a great sage. Right? You are such a great sage. And I'm so humbled that I got your darshan. Now, we should not be deceived. Over here, just by looking at him and just by what he was wearing, he decided that he was a sage. He bowed down his head and he accepted his superiority. Should we be doing it? Should we? At that time, is it important to let down our guard and say, okay, anybody who is dressed in a particular manner, who is talking in a particular way, who shows us a particular side, is a great person? No, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't get carried away also. But he did. He was so thirsty, he was so fatigued, he let down his guard. And when he joined his hands, he told him, Ki, you are such a great sage, I am very thirsty, can you please help me? And see, look at this. He was nicely in his kingdom, ruling properly. He was a dharmaraj, right? A kingdom. But his niyati, his destiny got him to the jungle. His destiny got him to this cave. And this person who was disguised as a sadhu was no other than one of the kings that he had defeated. And this king was robbed of his kingdom. He did not want to surrender. He held such heavy vengeance against Pratap Bhanu that he was waiting for an opportunity to get out and fight and destroy him. But now he did not have to go out. Pratap Bhanu, on his own account, entered the cave where he was staying. Not only this, because of his fatigue, he did not recognize who he was. And because of his low vigilance, he took him to be a sadhu. And that is what he says now. The inevitable, says Tulsidas ji, is invariably preceded by circumstances that are favorable to it. Either it comes to a man or takes him to the cause of his doom. इसका हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Now I would like to stop here for 1 minute and think. So when we keep saying इसका हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, नियति, destiny, inevitable, then what are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to live in this world? Then तो we are not responsible. हम करता भी नहीं, हम भुगता भी नहीं, हम कुछ भी नहीं है, हम कुछ भी नहीं है. But when we are in this world, हमें पुरुषार्थ करना है, right? पुरुषार्थ, प्रार्थना and प्रयत्न has to be done. प्रयत्न करना है. So when we are acting, When we are acting in this world, we should act as if there is nothing else. No destiny, no God. हाँ, we should act in a good manner. ऐसा नहीं कि भगवान नहीं है तो हम कुछ भी करें. No. I mean to say is, put in all your effort as if it is only you right now. It is only your effort that is going to support you. But when you surrender the fruits of your action as if there is nothing but God. Work as if there is nothing but you, and surrender as if there is nothing but God. उस समय you should not put in less effort thinking कि भगवान संभाल लेगा. God helps those who help themselves. And this is how the world has to be. How do I manage my vivek? When you're saying that even your thought is not in your control? Yes, it is not. But when you are thinking, whenever it is possible, right now you're here, right now we are reading the scriptures. Whenever our vivek is with us, it can be sharpened, it can be honed. Let it be alert, and that viveki insan should think before we act. We are not. The difference between a human and an animal is very simple. The vivek, the intelligence. Baki to they also eat. We also eat. They also sleep. We also sleep. They also have recreations. We also have recreations. They indulge in taking care of youngs. We indulge in taking care of the young. They indulge in, procreation all the time. We indulge in procreation. तो खाएंगे पिएंगे प्रोक्रिएट करेंगे मर जाएंगे तो हम भी तो वही हैं. What is the difference between us and them? The vivek. It is not the human sharir or the hands and the things that we can do. It is our vivek. And if we cannot use our vivek, then it is a very sad thing. Human birth has been lost. We sway, right? When we spend money, we think 100 times. But when we give people our time, we are so liberal. Abhi, I am reading this book, somebody will call me, 2 hours will go. The time goes, it will never come back. Use your vivek there. Be stingy with your time. Use it where it is needed. And be generous with your money. Give it where it is needed. We are stingy with our money and very generous with our time. So just imagine, his vivek is gone, his doom is impending, and he goes to the cave. But we have to remember, yes, vivek we have. Kripa is always there. I just have to remove the umbrella. When I work, I'm going to work as if there is nothing but God, nothing but me. And when I surrender the fruits of my action, I'm going to say, Prabhu, teri ichha ab. मैंने तो पूरा प्रयास कर लिया. Isn't it? And whether it is my favorable time or not my favorable time, that is not for me to think. That is for you to think. Right? I am a puppet in your hand and I'm going to do the best of my action. So now Pratap Bhanu, that pious king who wants nothing from anybody, he has landed himself in such a situation. He's standing in front of his greatest enemy and he does not recognize it. Trust me, we are faced with our greatest enemy every minute and we don't recognize it. We don't, right? Every minute. But we don't know. कहते हैं ना, इंसान को सब मिल जाता है, अपनी गलती नहीं मिलती. We are unable to identify. So now, he's standing there. He does not know. He thinks of him to be this great sage. He bows down. He gives him water, the lake, and then they start talking. And he talks big, big words. He says, I know you're Pratap Bhanu. You're not the minister you are telling yourself to be. Because he said, I'm a minister and I got lost. He said, you're Pratap Bhanu. Then he talks the entire thing about Pratap Bhanu. He says, I am Ek Tanu. From the beginning to the end, I have had only one body. And I don't come in front of people any which ways. And this king is totally brought over. The faith is full. And finally he said, listen, you tell me, what do you want? I can grant you anything. And at that time, what does he ask? He asks for, let my body be free from old age. Just imagine, Pratap Bhanu, who is saying, I don't want anything from anybody. I surrender all my actions to you, O Lord. This is how he was ruling. But at this moment of doom, what is he asking for? From this sage, from this disguised person, let my body be free from old age, death, suffering. Let no one vanquish me in battle, and let me enjoy undisputed rule over the globe for hundreds of kalps, and let me have no enemies. मांगा तो भी किससे मांगा, है ना? और मांगा तो भी क्या मांगा. ऐसे कहते हैं ना, विनाश काले विपरीत बुद्धि. इनके विनाश का समय या उत्थान का समय आ गया था, वो तो समय ही बताएगा. सो ही आस्क्ड फॉर दिस, and then it is not his fault, right? Tulsi Baba says one more thing, not only fools, says Tulsidas, but even clever men are taken in by fair appearances. Look at the beautiful peacock. Though its notes are sweet like nectar, it devours snakes. We judge, we are taken aback. Like when we look at people, we judge them based on what they are showing us. हमें क्या पता अंदर क्या है. And he's taken on. He said, okay, this is possible. But for this, the Brahmins have to be happy. What are Brahmins? Brahmins are not by birth. Brahmins are by deed. The knowers of Brahma, Brahman, not Brahma the creator, Brahman are known as the Brahmins. They have to be happy. So what I'll do is, I'll transport you to your kingdom, right? And I will take your priest and put him in hiding. I'll disguise myself as your priest. You offer them what I cook and they will give you a blessing. How will this happen? Oh, don't worry. I have this skill. We कहते हैं ना, चमत्कार को नमस्कार. Nowadays, who is the greatest person who can do chamatkars? Right? This is how, right? Oh, when I went to that sage, he did so and so. It was a chamatkar. Chamatkar ko namaskar. He said, I have this ability, I can do that. So what he did is, he was tired, he mixed something in the food, he transported him to the kingdom with his horse. With whose help? There was this great demon who had disguised himself as a boar. His name was Kal Ketu. And Kal Ketu was a demon, and he also wanted to take revenge from Pratap Bhanu, because he had killed all the demons and demonesses and all the Rakshasas, so that the Brahmins and the sages could do their yagnas in peace. So Kal Ketu joined hands with this king, transported, the priest is taken away, and the time comes, he invites all the Brahmins, right? Every day is supposed to invite thousands and thousands of them. And in the kitchen, this king, in the disguise of the priest now, is cooking. What does he mix? He mixed a lot of tamsik ahar in it. He mixes non-veg, and not only this, he mixes Brahmin's flesh in the food, and the food is offered to the people who had come. And then Kal Ketu, he changes his voice and he says, don't eat this food. He is going to pollute you. There is Brahmin's flesh in this food. And at the minute they hear, the Brahmins curse the king that you and your entire family within a short period of 1 year will get destroyed, and each and every one of them will be born as Rakshasas and demons. Now Pratap Bhanu does not understand what has happened. And at that time, from the skies, the voice comes that you have cursed an innocent person. He has nothing to do with all this. But is he innocent? I do not know. But still. And when he walks into the kitchen, nothing is there. He walks around, nothing is there. He runs back to all the Brahmins who had gathered. He said, please forgive me. But they said, words once spoken cannot be taken back. And this is true for all of us. Be very careful. It is said that once in those 24 hours, हम जो बोलते हैं वो हो जाता है. बहुत सोच समझ के बोलना चाहिए. कहते हैं ना, वाणी एक अनमोल है, जो कोई बोले जानी, ये तराजू तोल कर फिर मुख बाहर आनी. We speak and then we think, yeah, I wish I should not have said this. Think 100 times and utter one word. मुंह बंद. You do not know आपने कब क्या बोला और वो सच हो जाए. And it happened. So he said, now what? And at that time, they say, ki, don't worry. That voice says, I will come to redeem you. Pratap Bhanu's entire race is destroyed. The word spreads all around. Other kings who were waiting for vengeance come. They conquer the kingdom. The undefeatable is defeated. His entire family is wiped out. And nothing, no trace of his is left anymore in this world. And it is said that this Pratap Bhanu, his brother Arimardhan, his minister Dharmaruchi were born as Ravan, Kumbhakaran, and his half-brother Vibhishan in their next birth. And again, though they were born in a very pious lineage, Pulastya Rishi's lineage, Yet their tendencies were demonic. They could not stand it, They were so demonic in nature that they could not stand any yagna, any Ved, any Hari Nam, Hari Kirtan anywhere. They would cause trouble to people for just sheer joy. Such was the mayhem they caused. Who were they born to? Rishi Vishwashvara. He was a rishi. Their mother was Keshaki. But in spite of that Pulastya lineage, because of the curse, especially Kumbhakaran and Arimardhan, of course, Vibhishan had the blessing, right? Because when he was doing this tapasya, they would cause a lot of mayhem, and these three brothers decided to do a tapasya. They sat down, and what did Kumbhakaran ask for? He wanted to ask for nirbhayatvam. But when Brahmaji looked at him and he saw that, my God, he's so big, if he starts eating daily, there will be no earth left. Then Sharda Ma came, sat on the tongue, and instead of nirbhayatvam, he asked for nidra vratam. Khatam. 6 months he sleeps, and then we know, right? They begged and pleaded, and the 1 year was made to 6 months. So Kumbhakaran and Ravan asked to be indestructible. He said, nobody should be able to destroy me. But monkeys and humans, because he used to think of them as nothing, are okay. Them I can manage. They cannot do anything to me. Brahmaji said, Tathastu. And when they went to Vibhishan, Vibhishan said, I want unswavering devotion to the Lord's feet. I want to be totally devoted to God. Nothing else do I want. And Brahmaji said, Tathastu. Now when this power was granted to Ravan, what happens when power comes? Power really spoils us, right? We think, when it gets to our head, the ego rises and our actions are not even in our own control. इसीलिए कहते हैं ना sometimes कि प्रभु, I don't want anything. जो है वो भी ले लो. Because this ego is very difficult to control. When we have, ego comes. When we have, humility goes. Have you seen a poor person, if you ask him, अच्छा ठीक है, you open the gate, you're busy, you said, अभी आप यहीं बैठ जाओ, मैं आती हूँ 10 मिनट में. He'll say, okay ma'am. He will probably not even sit on the chair, he'll sit on the floor and wait. And try doing it to your friend. I'm busy, the class is going on, please wait. What will happen? Just imagine. How dare she do this to me? Me, मैं भी तो हूँ. When we have, it's very difficult to control ego. Very few can. So Ravan started creating a lot of ruckus all around. So much so that this Bhumi Devi, Mother Earth, because everything is happening on her. She is a witness to everything. जो कुछ भी हो रहा है उनको दिख रहा है ना. You think there is no evidence of what we are doing when we are alone? No. There is a witness. She is a witness to everything that we do. And she says, I just can't take it anymore. These rivers and the mountains, they don't seem very heavy to me. But Ravan, the way he is acting, the suffering he is causing, is weighing me down so much that I cannot take it anymore. I cannot see the suffering of my children at the hands of Ravan. He had become so powerful. He used to do Vandana of Shivji, right? He is known as the Param Bhakt, Shiv Bhakt. With this power, it blinded him so much that he had the courage to lift up the Kailash. Jaake he lifted up the Kailash. And what? The way he behaved with his own Ishtadev. When he would be sitting in prayers, instead of going to him, he will say, okay Shivji, aaiye prakat ho jaiye. I am ready to pray to you. That kind of ego. With great power comes great responsibility. And with great power comes great ego. And there was destruction. And not only him, Kumbhakaran, that entire lineage of his, Pratap Bhanu and his family, they were all born as Rakshasas. Meghnath, Indrajit, even they were not tormenting the earth was not enough. They would go to the heavens and wanted to conquer the gods. The gods went into hiding. Whoever could run, ran. The others got captured. It is said that the Navgraha were lying captivated in his kingdom. The Navgrahas. They were also in his control. Where to go? What to do? Mother Earth was weeping. She did not know, so she took the form of a cow. And she went looking for the Devas. She went looking for Indradev. Where are all of you? Save me. They said, we cannot do anything. In the form of the cow, then she went to Brahmaji. Brahmaji says, this is not in my hand also. Post which, they did not know where to go. They did not know. This was this beautiful confusion that they were going through. And the confusion, I'll just read it out because they've mentioned it so beautifully. It is said, I'll just turn the page. Where can we find Lord? It is after Doha number 184. All the gods sat in council. Where can we find the Lord? कहाँ मिलेंगे? All the devas. So that we may appeal to him. अगर वो मिले तो उनको समस्या बताए ना, वो मिलेंगे कहाँ? Such was the question. Such was the dilemma. कि where will we get him? Why? Why did they want to find him? Because patience of Ma Earth had run out. Her heart was bleeding. Over here she says that if ever any talk of jap, yog, dispassion, penance, offering sacrifice to the Lord entered Ravan's ears, he would go once and stop it and kill those people, trouble them. Gruesome deaths were being given. There was such corruption in the world that no talk of nice justice could be heard anywhere. Whoever recited the Vedas or the Puranas was intimidated in many folds ways and sent to exile. Roaming at night, they did outrages of various kinds and assumed diverse forms through their delusive powers. All the Rakshasas could change forms. They acted in every way contrary to the Veds and the Purans. They wanted to eradicate this religion altogether. Ma felt so hurt. She said, I just can't take it anymore. Now they started discussing, where is Lord? Brahmaji told Ma, be patient. Have patience. Dharani dhari man adhir. Have patience. In the worst of our trial, when the trials are happening, the situations are very bad, हम क्या बोलते हैं? धीरज धरो, धीरज रखो, धीरज रखो. Patience, patience. Everything will pass. So Brahmaji is talking to Ma, who has taken the cow form. She says, have patience. He's saying, have patience. Dhiraj dharni dhari man adhir. Kaha biranchi haripad sumiro. In the worst of the times, in the darkest of the hours, dhiraj rakho. Patience. Wait. Stop. Don't run around crying. Stop. For one moment, that moment of silence. And at that time, what do? Connect to the Lord. You do not know where he is. कोई बात नहीं. मन में विरंची हृदय पद. In your heart, see his feet and take his name with patience. धीरज धरो. जानत जन की पीर. He knows everything. It is not that if we don't tell him that he won't know. He knows all our ordeals more than we do. Sometimes we might say, I cannot express what I am feeling. I do not know what I am going through. He knows. There is no need to tell him. है ना? प्रभु भंजहि दारुण विपत्ति. प्रभु तुम्हारी विपत्ति हर लेंगे. Have faith. What is it? धरनी धरी मन धीर. कह विरंची हरिपद सुमिरो. हरिपद सुमिरो. जानत जन की पीर. प्रभु भंजहि दारुण विपत्ति. The worst of your ordeals will be taken care of and taken away. But for now, have patience. Have patience. Wait. Have patience. He knows. He is in control. Who is in control? He is in control. उन्हें सब पता है. माँ उन्हें सब पता है. And then the search. Now they are talking. All the gods are there. Ma is there. Where can we find the Lord? So that we can appeal to him. Someone suggested that they should go to Vaikuntha Dham. कहते हैं ना प्रभु वैकुंठ धाम में रहते हैं. माँ लक्ष्मी and प्रभु. Another said the Lord has his abode in the Milky Ocean. शीर सागर में रहते हैं. शेषनाग की शैया में वो वहाँ पे हैं. The Lord always manifests himself in response to the devotion and love one cherishes in one's heart. कहीं जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. What does the Lord do? He manifests himself. वो प्रकट हो जाते हैं. And what do you need? We do not have to go एक मंदिर से दूसरे मंदिर. जाना चाहिए. मंदिरों में क्यों जाना चाहिए? Why should we go to the मंदिर्स? प्रभु तो हमारे घर में भी हैं. We have a mandir next door also. Why is it that we have to go to Bake Bihari only? Why? Is there more power in Bake Bihari and less power in the Krishna sitting in my mandir, or less power in the Krishna sitting in Govind Dev Ji, or there is less power in Krishna sitting next door in the small mandir over here? नहीं ना. We go there because वहाँ पे कोई ना कोई संत, some sage must have come and his charan dhuli must be there. When we touch the dust of his feet, we will also get the devotion he has. We go to Tirath for the sages. Prabhu to sab jagah hai. Some sage, some devotee who is beyond my comprehension of devotion must have come, and I would be able to bask in his aura and take some devotion with me when I go back. बाकी तो प्रभु हमारे घर में ही है ना. So they are saying कहाँ जाएं? In your heart. He responds to the devotion and love one cherishes in one's heart. Who is saying this? Shivji is talking about this to Maa Girija. I too happen to be in that assembly. मैं भी था वहाँ पे. We should not forget, right? This is a dialogue between Ma Parvati and Shivji. So Shivji is saying, I was also present in that assembly because Ma came to me also, crying and weeping. And then, for aught I know, Sri Hari is present everywhere alike, and it is revealed only by love. कहते हैं ना, पोथा पढ़ पढ़ जग मुआ, पंडित भया ना कोई, ढाई आखर प्रेम के पढ़े सो पंडित होई. आजकल बहुत ट्रेंड है ना, ये पढ़ लो, वो पढ़ लो, ये रट लो, वो रट लो, एक क्लास से दूसरी क्लास. जानते हम सब हैं, वी नो एवरीथिंग. आचरण में लाने में तकलीफ है, isn't it? We all are ज्ञानीज, we know anything, we have attended so many classes. कईयों को तो गीता भी कंठस्थ होगी, रामायण तो ऐसे बोलेंगे without taking a breath. But have we been able to bring it on our day-to-day lives? Acharan, has it become a part of my very existence? Do I act as per what I have read? Do I have true love for that God who I talk so much about? ये सेल्फ एनालिसिस है, ये हमें खुद को क्वेश्चन करना पड़ेगा. वी कैन डिसीव द वर्ल्ड, वी कैन डिसीव आवरसेल्व्स. कौन देख रहा है हमें? प्रभु देख रहे हैं और माँ देख रही है, भूमि देवी. वी कांट डिसीव देम. हम अपने आप को भी झूठ बोल देते हैं ना. वी समटाइम्स प्रिटेंड दैट वी आर द ग्रेटेस्ट डिवोटीज. हम हैं क्या? मत बोलो. डोंट लाई टू योर सेल्फ. यू वांट टू लाई टू द वर्ल्ड, गो अहेड. एटलीस्ट डोंट लाई टू योर सेल्फ. सो शिवजी बोल रहे हैं, आई वॉज ऑल्सो देयर इन दैट असेंबली एंड आई नो श्री हरि इज प्रेजेंट एवरीवेयर अलाइक एंड इज रिवील्ड ओनली बाय लव. Tell me any place, time or quarter of this heaven where the Lord is not. ऐसी कोई जगह बता दो. There is a शायरी, right? I am forgetting आज, I don't know why. शराब पीने दे मस्जिद में बैठकर, या तो कोई मंदिर में बैठकर बोल देते हैं, या तो कोई जगह बता दे जहाँ प्रभु नहीं. You know, he's saying, no, this is not the place where you should be drinking alcohol. So he's saying, okay, either you let me drink alcohol over here, if you think this is a pious mandir or anywhere. Otherwise, you tell me a place where the Lord is not. Is there a place where the Lord is not? Is there a place which is not pious? ऐसी कोई भी जगह है? नहीं है. Having taken the form of all creations, both animated and inanimated, he is yet destitute of everything and passionless. He is revealed by love, even as fire is manifested by fiction. When we rub the two stones together, what is manifested? Fire. Stones में fire दिखता है क्या? पर है ना? Right? It is there, isn't it? What happens when we rub the two stones nicely like the cavemen? Fire comes. Why? We couldn't see the fire there, but it is. So in the same way, Lord is. हमें दिख रहे नहीं है. And how do we manifest him? What is that we need to do? Love. Divine love for him and his creation all alike. ऐसा नहीं कि I'll selectively love my friend and I don't like that person, so I'm not going to love him. There is that same Lord in everybody. Avran hai. There are so many veils which cover him. He knows not. Jesus said, right, forgive them for they know not what they do. Did he hold a grudge against anybody? No. He said, no, because there deep within, everybody is the same. They're all the divine Satchit Anand Swaroop. They do not know what they are. Because the veils of ignorance have covered that divine light which will shine through them when that divine love is invoked. And then my words found favor with all the Brahma. All and Brahma applauded me saying, well said, well said, well said. Jai ho, sadhu, sadhu. And whenever they say well said, it is said, more vachan sabke man mana. They said, ye Shivji ne baat sahi boli hai. More vachan sabke man mana, sadhu, sadhu kari Brahma bakana. Yes, sadhu, sadhu. You have said is right. Brahma was glad at heart to hear my words. The hair on his body bristled. Tears flowed from his eyes. Recovering himself, the stable-minded Brahma joined his palms and prayed. With lots of love in our heart, we join our palms and pray कि अब तो राम आप आ जाइए. बहुत हुआ. कहते ना, many a times we say, बहुत गई थोड़ी रही. अब तो भक्ति आ जाइए. अब तो प्रभु प्रेम आ जाए. अब बस राम आ जाए. Just imagine the scene in front of you. Brahma, Shiv, all the devas, everybody, Ma in the form of a cow, joined hands, tears in their eyes, calling the Lord with utmost love in their heart. Prabhu, aa jao. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Hanuman, Jai Hanuman.